Okie dokes, hello folks, and yeah, this is a qualifying debrief video, mainly because I didn't actually make the qualifying stream, so big apologies there on my part. I set an alarm to take a nap after FP3 to then wake up for Quali, and yeah, 3 alarms, 2 different phones, absolutely nothing, just slept straight through them, don't remember a thing, and I woke up at 7 a.m. with light outside. I'm like, well, the first thing I thought was, oh my god, I need to commentate Quali, and then I realised it was light outside and it was too late, so big apologies there. I will be live for the race, so there is a link in the description to the race stream, and I'm sure it'll pop up on your feed anyway, so I hope to see you then, and yeah, that should be pretty good. And also, big thank you to like loads of people were DMing me on Instagram, hoping that like an Instagram notification would wake me up. Very creative and much appreciated. But yeah, it's I was totally knocked out, and I mean I was on 4 hours sleep the night before, right? So that's probably why. But let's go into the qualifying debrief, right? So let's go from the bottom. Lance Stroll, no sort of laps done from him. The car was damaged in FP2, and it seems like the battery was damaged. They have no spare parts for the battery, and Lance Stroll hasn't done a lap since they came over the radio to him in FP2 and said, "Box, we have an issue," and yeah, no more laps completed. I don't think he'll be taking part in the race unless Honda can fix an engine and fix a battery and fly out from Japan right in time for the race tomorrow. Carlos Sainz, he had an issue in FP3, and he well, they couldn't get the issue resolved in time, so that was another Mercedes power unit that was having some problems. But yeah, no laps on the board for Carlos Sainz. Max Verstappen, quite the big surprise there. Max Verstappen getting eliminated out of Q1, having that big crash, and he got rear locking on his tyres, right? And the reason for the rear locking is that when the teams want to recharge the battery, the way that they do that is by slowing down the rear tyres, by effectively braking the rear tyres without using the brakes. But then when Max Verstappen's going in towards turn number 1, right, he is already on the brakes. He's got all of the weight at the front of the car, and at the back of the car gets really light. You've already got the brake calipers squeezing on the brake discs to slow the car down in that regard, and then on top of that you have the regen, which means that yeah, there's way too much force trying to slow down the rear tyres, and you end up locking them up, right? And the teams are going to have to figure this out, because of course you want to recharge the car as much as possible, but it's a very fine line. If you go over that fine line, you get rear locking, and you basically spin around just like Max did, and there's not much you can really do. Sergio Perez did the same thing, I think, at turn number 4 in FP2. He lifted off the throttle. The car thought that, oh, it's time to regen the battery. It locked his rears while he was going through the corner and just spun around. So these regen maps that the teams are going to have on when to regen, when not to regen, what throttle setting should it be, what speed should it be, how much should they be pressing the brake, these are all going to have to be fine tweaked and figured out for the rest of the season. But I suspect we'll probably be seeing a few more incidents where the drivers lock the rear tyres because they're trying to recharge the battery too much. Then looking at Cadillac, they are the slowest drivers on the grid. I mean, I think it is fair enough. They're a totally brand new team. They've not just taken a bunch of parts from Ferrari. They've just taken the power unit. Everything else is their totally own making. So the fact that they've managed to do so well based off that, and they're only, about a second off, half a second off from the Aston Martins is pretty good overall compared to the pace of the midfield, shall we say, compared to the Hasses, compared to the Alpines. They are about a second and a half off, or nearly 2 seconds, but progress will be fast. It's very easy to make progress when you are at the back of the pack. Fernando Alonso managed to go ahead of the Cadillacs. I mean, it's a strong sign to start with, considering the Honda power unit can do absolutely nothing right now. They're running it in such a limited mode, but yeah, hopefully when they fix these vibration problems and the resonant frequency problems of the engine and the chassis, then they will then they'll progress up through the field. Same thing can be said for the Williams team. They are very much overweight, so as the weight gets dropped down over the next few races, I suspect that their performance will improve, but of course a lot more teams will also be improving in performance. Pretty good there from Gasly and Colapinto. Colapinto being quite the ways back from Gasly overall in Q2, but it is what it is. And Gasly's probably going to continue outperforming Franco Colapinto. Behrman again outqualifies Esteban Ocon, a trend that we see continuing on from last year. And the same thing can be said for Gabriel Bortoleto and Nico Hülkenberg. Bortoleto outqualifies Hülkenberg yet again. And it was quite close this time. Bortoleto also had an engine issue with his car as he was coming into the pits. So that delayed the start of Q3 and unfortunately couldn't get a lap in. But apart from that one technical niggle that Audi had, the rest of the weekend has been relatively flawless for them, and it's pretty strong going from a team that has never built a Formula One engine before. So it's pretty good from the Audi team, and good to see them up in the top 10 there with Bortoleto. And the next up, of course, we've got the Racing Bulls, and brilliant job. And typically this is how it goes, right? When Red Bull is a very strong car, the Racing Bulls is also very strong. And Liam Lawson did a great job. Outqualified Arvin Lindblad by quite the big margin, but I think both of the drivers didn't set perfect laps at the end of Q3. The temperatures were really getting up. And sorry, not the temperatures, the wind was really picking up. The temperature was down in 31 degrees, but the wind was quite strong, and that means the drivers couldn't fully commit, especially, of course, the less experienced drivers like Lawson and Lindblad. Lewis Hamilton back on the pace, and he's only a tenth and a half back from Charles Leclerc, so that is fantastic to see from Lewis Hamilton. I mean, Ferrari have sort of scammed us a little bit. You know, they were all of these promises and all of the hope about that Ferrari this year was the year. This year's the year of the horse, but not to be really for the Ferrari team. And also, another thing to point out, Hamilton taking quite an interesting line through turn number 14. So this is from a few of the people who watch the stream regularly, and they've messaged me on Instagram, who are at the racetrack. Hamilton through turn number 14 is taking sort of a much wider line and much straighter on the exit, and getting the power down way earlier on. So I think a few more drivers are going to be looking at Hamilton's line through turn number 14 and seeing if they can replicate that. But yeah, some pretty good going there from Lewis, and it seems like he is back. We'll see if he is consistently behind Charles Leclerc, but of course it's the first race of the season and the drivers are still getting used to the cars, so we can cut them a little bit of slack. McLaren look to be pretty strong, and they've split the two Ferraris. In fact, they are in a Ferrari sandwich, and very close between Piastri and Norris. Piastri beats Norris on this occasion. This year might be Piastri's year to beat Norris in terms of points scored, but we'll have to wait and see. Of course, at his home race, home hero, and he beats his teammate, so that's a good start to the season for him. Charles Leclerc in 4th position, he will be very happy with that, starting on the second row of the grid with a small turbo that is going to get primed up nice and early compared to the turbo in the Mercedes and in the Red Bull cars, so we could see Charles Leclerc jumping up potentially 2-3 positions off the race start, depending on how it goes for him. So yeah, that's something exciting, something to look forward to. Of course, we've also got Max Verstappen going to make his way through the entire field. That is going to be very exciting to see how he will do. And next up is Isaac Hadjar in 3rd position. What a job that he has done. First ever race at the Red Bull Racing team, and he goes up into 3rd position. He's 8 tenths back from George Russell. I mean, that's sort of a testament to how quick the Mercedes are, but Hadjar's done a brilliant job. I think if Max was there, probably would have been 3 tenths quicker than him, and there is a chance, right? Russell versus Max Verstappen, World Championship battle. It depends, of course, what the race pace is looking like. I think Red Bull look very strong in the race pace. Mercedes also look relatively strong, but the tyre wear and the battery management, all of these things are going to play into it. So we will just have to wait and see till tomorrow what the performance is going to look like. If Max Verstappen can go from 20th position up into the podium, that would be that'd be pretty crazy. He certainly has got the car underneath him to do it, but you do have to look. Charles Leclerc and the Ferraris and the McLarens are not that far behind the Red Bulls. Like, the gap is very small to Hadjar. I suspect to Max maybe it'll be a tenth or two bigger, but Max will have his work cut out for him if he wants to make his way past Hamilton, Norris, Piastri and Leclerc. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens there. Kimi Antonelli, the mechanic, somehow repaired his car after a huge crash in FP3 in 2 hours and I think 15 minutes. The mechanics managed to repair the entirety of Antonelli's car, and he managed to make it out for qualifying. So incredible job done by them to get Antonelli out onto the track, and he has rewarded them with an incredible drive in Quali, made it up into second position, 3/10 back from his teammate. I mean, I think this is again to be expected. Antonelli's only his second year in Formula 1. George Russell is Mr. Saturday himself, and he'll be there in all of the qualifyings. So yeah, pole position for George, and the Mercedes were well and truly sandbagging. You know, you look back and you look at the quotes right from Toto Wolff and like, oh, Red Bull are the benchmark, they're the team to beat. Yeah, like, it's all total lies, and it always is in pre-season testing, and Mercedes always hide their pace quite a bit. So yeah, 1-2 for Mercedes. We'll see if it lasts during the race. Will they have reliability issues, right? We've seen lots of issues down at Williams. We've seen quite a few issues at Alpine as well. McLaren had power unit issues with Piastri. They had gearbox issues with Norris. Will Mercedes be able to get away without any issues for the first race of the season? How many DNFs are we going to have? And yeah, it's going to be quite the exciting race. Arvid Lindblad starting in the top 10 as well. So first Q3 appearance for the rookie at his first race. So fantastic job done by him. And yeah, that's sort of the qualifying debrief done. I'll be live for the race. I will be, well, in fact, I'm going to be going as soon as I finish recording this and uploading it. I'm going to be going to go get an alarm that's going to wake me up no matter how tired I am. So yeah, I very much do look forward to commentating the race tomorrow. Will be nice and exciting. Once again, there is a link in the description, so go ahead, press the like button and the reminder button and things like that. And also, we hit the subscriber target while I wasn't even streaming, so big shout out to everyone that was in the chat. I would like to see what was going on in the chat. Unfortunately, it's already disappeared off YouTube, but I'm sure some people can fill me in, and thanks to the moderators as well, moderators and channel members for sticking with the channel even while I was asleep. Much appreciated. So I will see you all tomorrow for the race. It's quite the exciting qualifying session, and I'm sure the race will be even better. Cheers, folks.